Hello! Welcome to tonight's episode of Roll This. We'll dive in shortly, but first we have a few things to share with you guys. First off, our website is back up properly and has the shop activated again. So you can get this shirt or our just t-shirt variant that's the black with the white logo on it. And we also have the Shiny Swords Do More Damage shirt finally on there. In the first iteration that we've got of it, it is now on the website, so you guys can head over there to rollthis.com/shop. So no extra domains and crazy stuff, just rollthis.com/shop or rollthis.com and click on the shop at the top. Either way, you'll get there and you can check out the shirts we've got if you want to get your hands on one. We are going to be adding some more stuff soon on there, so just stay tuned to @RollThis on Twitter and Instagram, or join our Discord at rollthis.com/discord to stay up to date on everything like that. Secondly, I actually have notes here this time because it's so much stuff. We have our sponsor for tonight's episode, Reckless Deck. That's their logo there. They are awesome people, and they have partnered up with us for a couple of different giveaways. This one coming out tonight during our halfway point. You'll have a chance to win the Worlds deck from them. I did that out of order, but the Worlds deck is designed for helping you create unique worlds, settings, and locations within your games. At our halfway point, we will give one of these decks away to somebody who's hanging out here watching. We'll just give a keyword, the halfway point. You guys put that into the chat, and you're good to go. As for the bigger giveaway we're doing with them, it is a bundle set, so it's their complete set, which you can check out at recklessdeck.com. The complete set includes every deck and expansion they make, along with some really cool extras like prints, minis, and this awesome brass coin that I'm always playing with and showing you guys and telling you about every time I talk about Reckless Deck, because I love this coin and might come into play tonight, actually. That giveaway you guys can enter at rollthis.com/giveaway, or if you do exclamation point reckless in the chat, it'll pull that link up. It's a different link, but it goes to the same spot. So you can also save 15% off anything on the website too by using the code RollThis1. So roll this is one word with the number 1 smashed into the end of it. That'll save you 15% off anything at recklessdeck.com if you don't want to wait for the giveaways or anything like that. Also, today is Prime Day on Amazon, and I posted it on our Twitter, Facebook, and Discord, but I just wanted to let you guys watching the stream know as well. If you head to the link that comes up when you do !Prime Day in the chat, so !Prime Day will give you the link to go to this. You'll get right onto like the landing page for Wizards of the Coast and all the Dungeons and Dragons stuff that exists on there on Amazon, and a lot of stuff is like 50% off, so go. If you've been looking at something, been wanting to get a new book, if you want to get the pre-order for Descent into Avernus, you can get that for just about 50% off. I think it's like 40% off. So do that because you definitely want to get hooked up with that. Lastly, you may hear some dogs barking. If you do, it's because our mics are picking up the new neighbors. They're great. That's not actually what the last announcement was. They just happened to bark right before I said that. That may happen throughout the stream, so we'll just try to ignore it as best as possible, everyone here, myself included, and if you guys could try to let us have it on this one. We'll see what we can do for getting it edited out for the YouTube upload, but it's possible that might interfere with the game a little bit tonight, just so you guys are aware. It's not our dogs. They're not being hurt. They're just new, and they don't like being in the new place. It's pretty obvious. I went over and talked to the guy, and the dogs just don't like being there. But the actual last announcement I had here was we started receiving a few pieces of art from our campaign that people have been making, which is amazing. We love you for that. Thank you so much, because it's just incredible to see someone taking this game that we came up with and putting it into a visual format. It's just really, really cool to see that. Something I've personally been wanting from like the beginning to see happen. And so I wanted to share with you guys how you can share that stuff with us if you make it. If you go to rollthis.com/art, there's a gallery up there of the 2 current ones, along with a portion of the map of Anadar that I've made that you can see in that gallery section. And then right below that, there's a form where you can submit your own artwork. So it does have to be submitted via a link, so you'll have to post it either to like Imgur or Twitter or something like that, and then share the link inside of the form, just because it's kind of a weird way that forms work on that website. But you can do it that way, or you can tag @RollThis on Twitter when you post it there, or join our Discord server and post it in the RoleThis characters channel on there. So lots of different options, but RoleThis.com/art is where you can actually see some of the current stuff that's up there, along with have a chance to submit your own stuff if that's something you feel like doing. And that is it for announcements. So now we will dive back in to tonight's episode of RoleThis. Let me switch over to everyone here. We've got them all there. Switched up the nameplates as well a little bit so that you guys that are watching can see the character names in their full format. Maze is way easier, as you just saw, than saying anything close to what her full name is. And so Maze is Maze on the end there, obviously. And then Kael at Strats goes by Kael most of the time. And so far, Anadar does not go by Alan, but he is Anadar. And then you can see their actual race and class as well, which is just kind of a nice little change, I thought. So let us know if you like that. And we'll get right in here with the recap of where we are. So you guys currently are... you just got through a pretty intense battle within a clearing surrounding a bonfire where centaurs and werewolves were kind of coming together. At the moment of arriving in this space, some through following another into the woods, some through teleportation methods, some because you were hunting someone who was already there. And all of you came to the same spot around the same time and witnessed a massacre taking place. Maze was part of it, alongside of her former god Lemore, who had been her only friend throughout most of her life, who had kind of brainwashed her a little bit, in essence. And because of that, just a tiny, massive amount. Because of that, she was willing to follow him into this, and he had kind of misled her and coerced her into committing this atrocious act, basically. And as Maze was about to fall, she was bit by one of the werewolves. At this time, nothing has shown up from that, but she fell to the ground right before a centaur came in to stab at her with a spear and potentially end her life. 2 arrows came in and struck that centaur, at least one of which was fired by the dark-clothed elven man that walked out of the trees, being Anadar, who has now joined us. Then as Lemore revealed his draconic form to take on Cern, who had jumped out and battled against him to try and cleanse the world of his evils. They battled together for a while, and then suddenly one massive green dragon appeared in the clearing. That revealed to be Tyrael, the goddess of life, in essence. Life, greenery, nature, kind of the Mother Earth representation in this world. And your guys' friend, Morelia, had also joined in the fight here. Morelia did all of the actual fighting, while Tyrael stood by and aided momentarily in one instance, keeping Morelia alive to mostly finish things off. And as Lemore transformed into his true black dragon form from the white that he chose to portray, he fell at the feet of Maze, who bent down to kiss him on the forehead, potentially healing him. The same moment that Kael at Strats came out and decided to end the tyranny of this evil god. Slamming his greatsword down into the neck of Lemore at the same exact moment that Mazikeen released her necrotic energy in a fit of emotion, and both of them at once killed Maze's god. Anadar, not knowing what really was going on here or happening, just tried to smooth out the situation, tried to introduce himself, tried to...
A lot of dragons here.
Yeah, tried to really get a handle on things, and at this moment has not really figured things out.
Crazy.
Yeah, and where we left off, Kael had walked away. He was headed into the forest. You had lit a torch, right?
Yeah, lit a torch and then headed back towards the road.
Headed off in the closest general direction towards the road that he could muster, which I'm going to say is correct at this time. And yeah, and Maze and Alandor had elected to not join right up with him, but follow his path, and that's where we're picking things up now. You have Coral with you, and you two are with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Morelia and Tyrael have flown off into the night.
So me and Maze are walking.
Yep.
Maze, can I take a look at that sword that you took?
Okay.
I want to look at it.
Mhm.
I want to see if
I don't hand it over to him. I see.
Just show it to him.
Can I see if it's like some sort of elven?
You said look.
Mm-hmm.
Look with my hands.
What is looking where you come from?
Oh, never mind. I just want to see its origin. Is it elvish?
I don't know. It has a bird on it.
Birds aren't elvish.
I mean, Morelia looked at it. Like, it belongs to someone up north.
Oh, up north?
Yes.
Same place Kael going?
Yeah.
So we're following him,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can release 2 birds from the 1 stone cage.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Let's follow.
Wait.
Okay. So you're not
Why do you
inspecting
want
the
to look at
sword.
the sword?
I just was wondering if it's elvish.
I'll let you hold it for a little bit. And I hand it to him.
Okay.
When you pulled it out, did you just grab it by the handle?
Because the handle, it has the raven on it, and it's basically dragon scale wrapped, I think, around the hilt.
Were you
and
only
it's
holding
silver.
the handle though?
Yeah, I was only holding the handle.
Okay.
That's why I had my both hands up. I was just holding this.
Perfect.
So is it a two-handed sword?
It could be used
he held it,
two-handed.
like,
It's
with
more of a
one
short
hand.
sword though, but it's like a hand and a half kind of thing where yes, you could grab it, but realistically it's more often used one-handed.
So I hand it
and then
to him.
Can I do like what's that, investigation, or try to just see if an origin of it?
Investigation, I think, would be, I would say,
History.
yeah,
History?
more history in this regard, specifically with this sword as well.
No, while he's doing that roll, it's not in my inventory, is it? That wasn't added, right?
No.
Okay,
Still working
I
on it.
manually typed it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 20. 30,
20?
Well,
Okay. This sword
You guys get double digits.
is wow, with a 20. It's silver. The blade itself is a silver
true
blade
silver.
that is also enchanted to enhance its physical properties. So in regard to that, it's silver that's stronger than steel,
stronger.
kind of thing.
And,
as far as being elvish, it has the appearance of an elvish blade.
Okay. And do I recognize that the carving on the handle from anything?
So balancing a 20 along with your character's backstory, no.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, you don't notice anything specific about any kind of stories or things, primarily because you were focused more combat whenever you were training.
Absolutely.
You weren't focused as much on lore and history. So you don't have quite a grasp on it.
My character is much more detached.
Exactly. Yeah, you can tell that it's important, but you don't know the actual history of it. But it is a silver-bladed sword.
And then I'll hand it back to you. Very interesting sword. Thank you for letting me look at it.
Take it back.
Snatch? Oh, okay.
I kind of just blow on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you touch the blade at all?
Just the handle still.
Okay.
But she really doesn't know.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, well, how
So did you
hand
share
it?
anything
Actually,
about
how'd
what
you
you...
hand it back to me?
About my backstory?
About the sword with her when you were looking at it. Were you relaying everything out loud, or are you just experiencing it yourself?
I'm just looking at it myself, and I'm just getting it back to her.
Yeah, how'd you hand it back to me? Because I handed it to you just by the handle.
Again with the handle.
Okay, again.
So
just
since
grab
it's
it.
two-handed, we can just do it that way.
I was just wondering how you would have handled it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would just be interesting.
Oh, it will happen.
Those are some pretty pointed questions there.
They are. I mean, I'm not straight up telling you anything about
No,
this
I know.
blade, but
It will happen
I'm
eventually.
putting some stuff out there.
We'll let it play out.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Okay, that's not going to work.
All right.
All right, so is it nighttime? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
it is nighttime, so we're going.
Yeah, like it's naturally darker in here
Oh, yeah, we
anyways, but
both
it is
can-
straight up
and we have
night
dark vision.
time.
And he's got a torch, so it's practically a beacon.
Okay.
I'm just walking.
Yeah, I'm going.
So where exactly are you guys going?
Are you guys attempting to catch?
Dwevelhelm was where we were originally going.
Are you guys attempting to actually
I'm
catch
gonna-
up to Kael, or are you just still keeping pace kind of behind him?
I'm just staying behind. Like,
So we're just kind of chit chatting.
Yep.
So I'm gonna pull out this from my cloak here. Dwevelhelm. No, doesn't exist. I don't see it. So we are.
up there.
So I'll show her the map. So we are
Okay.
here in the shifting forest, correct? Going north.
You guys are currently on the west side of the Aran, which is the river portion that's
there's
showcased
Feldor.
on there.
Yeah.
North of
Feldor?
Feldar.
Don't know that.
Feldar is where we came from. We're way up above this. Your tiny map doesn't show this world.
The map that he has there is very worn and old. It looks like the same general shapes of things as far as you're aware, and the generalized locations of like Feldar is in this rough area,
see that.
and the mountains are up here, and the river comes from there. However, you very clearly see that it's missing a lot of detail as far as like the forest you're standing in isn't on there. Like it's that obvious.
I got these from a dead friend. So
Well, no wonder they died.
maybe it's not that accurate, but
Yeah.
we can fill it in as we go.
Trust me. Do not trust the dead. They're not that helpful.
I wasn't going to ask the dead to fill it in. I'll fill it in.
I mean, I could ask the dead, but
Good.
you don't want that to happen.
Not anymore.
Is that a threat?
More like a promise.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
What is that?
after that, I'm going to kind of pick up my pace.
Yeah, you just walk.
So I can walk 35 feet.
Okay.
Like that's my
He's just
normal
jumping
walking
out of
pace.
there.
Yeah.
I'm going to lengthen my stride and start like bridging the gap. To
Okay.
him.
Okay, perfect. Maze, you're still kind of trudging along, still dealing with the fact that the one person you really knew as a friend revealed themselves to be someone who'd been manipulating you the entire time that you knew each other. And
So
then
I'm not trusting anyone right now.
and being just annoyed by this new elf guy that showed up, who's completely out of touch with the situation and not grasping the emotional intricacies of things. You gather that he's probably been out and about on his own for a while, potentially,
Not long enough.
and hasn't had as many interactions with other individuals as someone at his age should. And so there is a bit of
Something inside me that
disconnect.
just wants to bite him, though. God.
Oh, careful. You make wisdom rolls here soon. And you
Roll your
guys
hunger
continue
dice?
on. Kael, I'll have you do a roll for survival.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Nice. Okay.
that's what it looks
I
like.
know exactly where I'm going.
Right. Yeah. You actually end up finding a pretty clear-cut
Do it all
path as you continue on, and kind of orienting yourself with the moon and the stars through a clearing you come across. You notice, okay, yeah, this is definitely west, direct towards where the road is, and the path leads straight on that way. So you're now easy travel along this path. It'll take you roughly another hour or two to get to the actual road is kind of your estimation, along with me actually straight up just telling you that.
Yeah, how long is it gonna be?
And so, yeah, it's, you guys could, if you chose to, bed down in this clearing area. It is the middle of the night, and your rest was interrupted. Or you could continue on back to the road, make it out of the forest, and then determine what you wanted to do from there.
Trying not to know games. I'm trying to think. What would Kael do?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bobby's like, this is the exact thing I should do here.
Well, I know
Sees
Maze
a
is
clearing,
exhausting.
knows that he's tired because he was sleeping and then he fought.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that Kael's probably wanting to bed down, but I don't know. Probably just his training is secure a camp location, look around a bit. So that's what I'm going to do. Secure camp location.
Okay.
Look around, see if there's any trace of other people about.
Mhm.
See if maybe people left some supplies behind, like the last
Right.
night.
Do an investigation roll on this one,
Okay.
since you're actually actively looking.
Hot dice tonight. Nice. Just a 19.
Nice. So you've noticed some spots around the area that look like something has laid in this area. Investigating a little bit further with the 19, there's like fur. It looks like maybe deer lay here, and it's kind of that type of trail. Beyond that, there aren't any kind of specific supplies. Though, kind of holding your torch out, you do find a small thing of like berries. Like, actually, it's a tree. It's a mulberry tree. So there's mulberries there, and there is the kind of just padded down grass area.
The monkey chased the weasel. Sorry, the song.
All right, so he's picking, and I'm gonna come up right next to him. I can help you pick berries, and I start like getting a bunch of.
What?
I said I could help you pick berries.
I mean, what are you doing here? Who are you again?
My name is Anadar.
Anadar.
Yes.
Why are you following me?
Well, I have nowhere. I don't have anywhere else to go.
Those that make some sense, but they're literally anywhere.
Look, I'm looking for some adventure, and honestly, for some company.
Well, you found yourself an adventure. That's all right if you're gonna join up with me and Coral here.
Where are you going?
So you point for Coral, and she's not there. Make a perception check on both of you.
10.
18.
You still don't see her. You notice that she's in the tree and has her bow drawn, pointed right at Anadar. And just dead silence.
And I go, she was here just a minute ago.
Well,
She'll be back soon.
do you not want my help? I'll go on my way. That's
well-
fine. That's fine.
I won't turn down help freely given.
Yeah, I really have. I have nowhere to go.
And honestly offered.
I guess I walk in.
Honestly offered.
Yeah, you would have caught up by this time, so you walked in the
I
clearing as well.
tell Orlando Bloom, I'm like, oh,
It's a land war.
it's imaginary. Don't worry about the coral. It's not really there.
What coral?
Exactly.
She lies. That's what she does. She lies and she follows. That's all she does.
Really?
That's all you do is lie and follow. He tells
Says
you
the
to
guy-
stab someone,
Walk
you
away.
you stabbed. You're the first person that shows you any kind of kindness, and you worship him like a god. You don't question a thing he says.
Okay. Soldier following orders. Roger that.
Not following orders, actually. I was ordered to.
Oh, a paladin's not following his orders, huh?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, higher calling, actually.
To your god.
Actually, when you're the backseat driver to your own body, you follow. Unlike you, who just follows without thinking.
Well, at least I had someone who cared about me.
Don't need someone to care about me.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
care
well,
about people.
That's why you keep pointing to the wart on your back who moves around.
Is she gonna roll a perception check?
You can, yeah.
Oh, I guess I can. I just say she's invisible. Oh, let's see, 15, 19.
Coral has shifted her bow from Elandor to you during this hostility, and you do notice it. She's up in the tree, just kind of like staring at you, and then kind of glancing back at Kael.
And for some reason, Maze looks at her and just growls. It's a weird guttural growl, like, try it, little one, and I will get you. And then I walk
she's
away.
looking back at you now.
Who are you talking to?
She's looking at Kael now.
And
She
I just
glances
walk
back
away.
to
My
you.
hands on my hammer hilt. Like, you don't want to go here.
And Maze just walks away.
Okay. Don't welcome him.
She seems angry. Very angry.
And Maze has left the clearing.
She lost a friend, and I understand that. But this friend wasn't a friend. This friend was
Was it that dragon?
the
thing
dragon. Yes.
That was deceiving and not white or black or smoky thing. Smoke
Indeed.
usually means fire.
I don't know what kind of elemental it was, but it was evil for sure.
So why does she follow evil? Is she evil?
I don't think she's evil. I think she's naive.
She is young.
I think she's foolish.
She's very young. So am I. I'm only 112.
Like, I feel like I know enough elves to be like, this is young for an elf.
Yes, but you're like in the same moment. You're like, yeah, but you're like 3 times my age.
Yeah, I'm like, this is very young for an elf, but also, I can't fathom that age.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What a weird conundrum it is to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, nice to meet you, young master, but it is time for me to be heading off to bed.
Yes, bed. I don't really. I just like meditate. Don't really fall asleep like Dragonborn do or stuff
Right.
like that. So
Right.
I'm just gonna go over here
Do your thing.
and do my thing.
Right. Coral?
Who? Oh.
And now you do see her because she
Now you
pokes her head out of a bush of a bushel of leaves, and just like these 2 massive glowing like orangish yellow eyes, just this bright white like kind of toothy grin.
You take the first watch. Wake up our friend here. I'm tired.
Disappears back into the bushes.
And then I'll take second watch. So
Probably, yeah.
because I'll be awake in 4 hours. So it's easy for me.
Maze found a bunch of leaves piled up. And she
How
throws
far
up
away
on
did you
them.
go?
Probably within, like, I could still see the campfire. If there's another tree, something just kind of around there.
You stay on the path, or do you go into the trees themselves?
Into the trees.
Okay.
Something was drawing me towards it, so I feel the trees are safer for me. Like,
North-
Maze doesn't know what's going on, but she feels safer near these trees.
Okay. Okay, so you went back a little ways south of the clearing into the trees. Say probably in this forest, 50 to 100 yards off.
Okay.
You just faint glow still, but away. You
Yeah,
find
it
kind
was
of
just
a
kind of just walking, huffing, and just like,
yeah. You find kind of a little spot where one of the trees has been kind of like uprooted slightly, but not entirely. So it's got kind of a divot of ground beneath it. You kind of curl up in there, throw some leaves in, make a little bed.
Yep. Just fall asleep.
Okay. And Kael is asleep. Coral is keeping watch, and you are meditating because elves are elves. Yep.
Weird guy.
Elves don't sleep.
Only elves, not half elves though. I think half elves still have to
Yeah,
like,
half
actually
elves have to
sleep.
sleep. I didn't realize elves
Yep.
didn't sleep.
Yeah, elves just do.
They just meditate
They
for
go into a
4 hours.
meditation in essence. It's called
And then
something
I get a
specific.
full
but
rest.
Yep.
If it's the 4 hours.
That's it.
4 hours gives an elf a full rest, whereas everyone else
That's
has
why
to take 8.
having an elf in
Yeah.
the party is kind of nice because they
Wow.
just take second watch. And
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take second
Easy
and
Can I
peasy.
take
third.
second breakfast?
Oh, second.
Well, I mean, I'll have.
Question. I know it's night.
Uh-huh.
We just got done dealing with werewolves, vampires, and Mine's tigers and bears on mine. What is the moon phase?
You'll find out soon enough.
Okay. Good. Okay, we're on the same page. All right.
That's the moon phase. It is a moon.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
There they
The
are.
fact that she's worrying about
6
that.
moons.
I lost my D20s.
As a player,
But
so she
I
knows
feel like
how to
you need this
roleplay.
as a player.
She knows how
Maze
to
doesn't
roleplay.
care about the moon.
Yeah.
He just wanted to go to the trees and
Yep.
sleep.
And she's angry.
Oh yeah, very
Because
angry.
the mean, scaly guy told her off.
And now she's gonna come back into the camp and eat all. No, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, it's in her dream. She's dreaming it.
Yeah. So,
Like Coral's the little appetizer, like the little like from Little Mermaid.
okay. So Maze is conjuring her own dreams this evening, and they're all quite dark. Clearly, the scar of Lemore will take some time to heal. Nothing stirs you from your meditation. Coral kind of pokes her head out of the trees again and goes, "Elf,
What do you want?
it's your turn."
Oh, okay. I'll get up and I'll actually go up into the tree as well.
Tree she's in?
No,
Yes, both
Yes,
of them on
of
one
course.
branch. Why not?
I'm going to go into the exact same
Okay.
tree.
You start
elves are
to,
light, and this
yeah.
is a
Oh,
tiny
they are.
goblin.
That's true.
yeah.
Not the effect I was hoping for.
Like,
You start
walks
to
on scene.
climb up it, and she's kind of like,
Let me watch this.
you see her like poke her head out from around where she is. She kind of glares at you, and then just like springs off, like kind of pushes down on a branch. Roll an 18 on this. Pushes without her bonuses. Pushes down on the branch. It kind of springs her up, and she just shoots out and grabs another branch and swings into another tree.
Okay.
And then
Well,
like,
I'll go to where she was sitting.
okay.
This is a good perch, little guy. Girl. Sorry.
Hard to tell with all the leather. And...
Yeah. Okay. Make a perception roll for me.
Perception. 17.
17. About halfway, 3/4 of the way through your watch, you notice and hear kind of like a rustling in the bushes just off to the edge of the camp, and you kind of start up a little bit, and you are just about to maybe call out to the others, and a little raccoon pops out of the bushes and kind of walks around, like looks over, looks at Kael, and like real slowly walks over to the kind of mulberries that had fallen on the ground, starts kind of just eating some of them.
Hey, you get out here!
And it runs off and back into the bushes where it came from.
But it carries like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like a couple of them under. It's like running 3-legged.
Nice.
Krut Kicha.
But for the rest of the evening, nothing really catches your attention. Nothing comes to pass. Maze.
She's hearing dogs in her dreams.
She's got
Like,
her-
just
she's got her
there's barking,
headphones
there's
in.
howling.
Yeah.
She's got her headphones in. She's listening
bad
to The
omen.
Cure.
Yeah, currently you are still sleeping soundly.
Yeah.
So, Elandor, your watch has come to an end. If you would rouse Kael.
Well, it's been roughly 8 hours-ish.
Yeah, so it is like...
It's time to get ready
yeah.
to go.
So it's not close-ish, yeah. It's not actual like morning
Right.
yet, but it's like that part of the morning where the sun hasn't started cresting yet, so you don't get that kind of bluish start. But it's like right before that, like if you wake up at 4:30,
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's kind of actually about the time you're getting up. Now that I think about it.
Alright, well, how are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great.
Rested? Feeling well?
Yes, very well.
Good. I'm going to go gather some wood.
Okay, I will go hunt for some little squirrels or raccoons.
You could find some eggs too. That would be great.
Eggs, bacon.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know if there's any hogs around yet.
Raccoon bacon. Very good.
Jesus. Okay, so
Squirrel bacon.
yeah. So
Just a
turns out he's a
little
really good
sprig of rosemary.
survival for your hunt,
Yes.
and then we'll say investigation for your wood gathering,
18.
which really is a pretty low.
13. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a career wood gathering.
And say like it would be
You're
like
right.
basically if you had gotten like under a 5, it would have been. For some reason, there have been no recent branches that have fallen.
Yeah,
You'll have to cut something yourself.
I have.
You're like, give him an X, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a bonus
but I
for
didn't.
for woods.
Oh,
Do
because
I
favorite
roll with advantage or anything like
favored
that?
terrain.
Favorite terrain.
I think that is advantage on stuff like this, or it's something along that. You get a bonus
Yeah.
for this. Call it advantage now, and I'll look it up and figure it out later.
It's 18.
18. Yeah. So traveling through. On the north side of the clearing, you do not find a raccoon,
Yeah, it's
but you do manage to get a couple of rabbits
yes.
that you can then bring back to the camp. And it is. Oh, no, that's not favorite terrain. That's natural explorer.
You know, same thing.
Oh, is it?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
I think natural explorer is like
It's real similar to
mitigates
it.
your penalties.
Well, yeah, I have
It's
yeah,
really
natural
compliant.
explorer. That's what I have.
Like sense heading or
Maybe I'm just getting those two mixed up.
It's
like
more
sense
for
heading,
traveling.
like
Yeah.
where you're
Into the
going.
direction.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
guess
since
that's-
heading
You
and
find
networks
twice as
Oh,
much
yeah.
food while foraging,
Yeah.
and while tracking creatures, you learn the exact number of sizes and how long after they've passed through the area. And I have bonuses for forest and mountain.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
So
Huh.
blood tracker.
Convenient, as we're in a forest headed to the mountains.
Now where you live.
Right.
It's round.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. But perfect. So you guys are making a breakfast. Maze, you kind of.
Do you smell?
I
what
probably
the-
smell it with the rock is.
What the croc is cooking? Get it? Because I'm scaly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It hurts just enough to get it.
You have to have one pun in episode.
That's true. Can't go without them, unfortunately. You guys are making a fairly decent breakfast. Coral actually comes back with a squirrel of her own, and
Still struggling in her teeth. Like
no, it's finished cleanly. And she kind of nudges in and starts cooking it up herself.
You are an excellent hunter as well.
She just kind of like nods to you. Still not really talking to you. Just kind of like very short with you because she doesn't understand you yet. Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking of a potential thing that could have happened with something else, but maybe never actually. But Maze, you do come awake. The sun is now starting to rise. You guys have kind of made your dinner. You guys are like breakfast. You guys are like finishing up. Yeah, it's like dinner already, and now the sun's up and down immediately. Weird. This place is a strange magical forest of darkness.
Get your watches figured out.
See, I thought that land was way more north.
Yeah.
Right. All of a sudden, you're in the desert to the south, and
Where's the Everdark? What? How'd that
yeah,
happen?
convenient. No, so you guys are finishing up the breakfast. Maze, you're kind of coming awake at this moment. Make a perception roll for me.
Perception. Ooh, that would have been good, except for it's an 8.
Except for it was
And the two actually, yeah, the both of you make a perception roll as well. Kael and Anadar. Perception. Yep.
17.
22.
Okay. You both smell something that smells like baking.
Bacon?
Baking.
Oh, bacon.
Baking
It's like baked goods kind of thing.
in the woods.
Do we know which direction it's coming from? Like from
The 22, you do.
Okay.
It's coming from the south. Just like, you can't tell how far away, but it's kind of southwest-ish. So still the general direction you guys are headed, but a little off the path.
Towards the road.
Somewhat towards the road, but off the path a little ways.
I'm like, but it's south. It's not the direction I'm heading.
It's not the direction you're headed, but it's headed kind of west-ish, so kind of
It
southwest.
needs to get to the road. Yeah.
You smell that?
I do.
Doesn't smell like rabbit
No.
or mulberries.
No.
Actually, it does have a bit of a scent of mulberries to it.
Actually,
Now that I smell it again. Ah,
yeah, mulberries and some sort of baked goods,
But we've got mulberries.
like a pie. You like pie?
I love pies.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of the direction to the road, right? What if we take a small detour and go get the pie? To celebrate our new friendship, I'll buy you a pie.
Deal.
Sweet. I like pies.
Okay. Maze,
Seriously,
now that you are awake,
delaying his holy class.
and not only that, but
Damn pies.
and also just speaking like, away from the characters and such, why the hell are there pies that you can buy in these woods? But, characters are characters, players are players.
Maze is now Betty Crocker making the pies. Somehow there's a made a windowsill out of rocks. Isn't that cool?
That was just not the way I expected
Secret
that
flame
conversation
pie.
to go.
Here you go.
So, you guys start to make your way out of the camp. Coral does, at this point, kind of spring down from the trees that she has been kind of gone back up into to gather a few more of the berries. Clambers back up onto your shoulder, sits there, just kind of...
Munching on them. Mouth closed when we chew. Please. Thank you.
So, are you teaching her manners and such?
Teaching her to be a knight.
Oh.
I feel like the goblin keep chewing their mouth closed. It's hard when their face is 90%
Can you do
mouth.
that?
Hers
I
particularly.
can be a knight. She can't.
Oh. Well, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't want to be a knight. I like my bow too much. I struck it.
Okay. Coral kind of gives you this bit of a curious look, almost a positive look at this point, just like, And Maze, you've come awake. What is your plan for the moment?
I am just going to get up and just basically walk past them and continue north without them. Just like make them see me, like walk by, don't say anything, and just keep walking.
So, adding all of this together, where you currently are, where they currently are, and all this, your desire to do so would mean you have to get in front of them. And they're here, you're here, they're going here, here. So you would have to kind of angle off this way, and you'd kind of almost actually probably meet each other, crossing paths. So that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
Perfect. So as you do so, you see that you're walking up kind of almost beside them at this point, and trying to kind of cut back around to where you're getting in front of them, and very childish. At that moment, you also smell this kind of sweet, warm, baked goods smell coming from your left. And the wind is kind of blowing from that way, just very lightly coming through the trees here, as the trees are fairly thick, but just very lightly comes through and just kind of, you smell it and you're like, and you see it off to your left. Are you going to continue on?
Let's see, I didn't eat, so I will probably go towards the smell now.
I'm over here like, if you say you're gonna just keep moving, I'm
There's
like,
a watery. There's a water.
See, that's like, I'm a little torn between that though, is because it kind of is, but also like I don't want it to seem like I'm railroading you guys saying you have to go to this smell, because you can keep going.
Where she could, but she's hungry, and I'm gonna go that way.
So I'm just presenting the options as they exist in the space.
I mean, why would there be a baked thing in the middle of the woods? Like, I'm more curious.
I say, if anything, you're curious, but also hungry.
No way.
So are you now like in stride with us, behind?
But I'd still be behind.
You kind of came up like this,
So
and you guys all kind of came together right as you smelled it.
Don't say anything. I was just like, And I
And
just
then-
walk. I don't even say anything.
Okay,
to
so
him.
Maze is actually kind of leading you guys now the same path, which
I do not see her.
awesome.
fine.
Yeah. Are you trying to be stealthy? Are you
I
trying to be
was
stealthy?
at first.
Roll
yeah,
for
but
stealth.
We'll see how.
Just
he
to make sure this actually all lines up.
Was it a 12 plus? Where's my stealth?
So Kael definitely doesn't notice you.
Well,
Oh yeah,
no.
+1. Yeah.
23.
He does. He looks over and just kind of like waves at you, like hi.
You hungry for pie too?
Here.
If that's what it is.
I like pie.
Coral's just kind of like, what are you talking about?
We are going to get pie.
And I point at Maze.
Sits back down like, how did I not see that? Not like she's mad at Maze or anything, or like she's upset about Maze being there, but she's like mad at herself for not noticing.
Because he waves, and I'm just like,
Coral.
and they just like startle him, I guess.
Yeah. I need you to do something. I hand like a couple of, like a gold piece to her. Make sure she eats.
Okay.
So
Just gotta tucks him away.
And the idea is that Coral goes and pays for Maze.
Yeah. We'll see.
Right. She might not, and then I get to have stern talking to.
So you guys continue on, the smell growing, and you start to notice that the woods change a little bit. Everything around this area is dark. Not dark like it's all black and dead or whatever, but dark like if you've ever been in a really dense wooded area, dark in the sense of like really dark greens, and you can't really see very far, and the actual light of the space is dark. So everything is kind of muted like that. The undergrowth is very like thick and kind of thorny in a lot of spots, but as you kind of push on through it, it starts to get a little easier. Not paths or anything.
Okay, I was
but
wondering, like, would considering everything we just went through, like, Maze walk through a dark wood like this and witness stuff, would this possibly be, like, PTSD? It's like, no, not this again, and, like, kind of nope out there? Or would she still, like, that pie smells really good? Like, what would drive her?
Well, Maze is your character, but I would say to give you an actual answer that it's not that kind of thing.
Okay,
I mean,
so it's not the same kind of darkness as before.
It's the same forest, but it's a different feeling overall because of your
I
goal.
rolled for myself. I'm going towards the pie.
Okay, perfect.
My smartness did not kick in and
Nice.
be like, this is
Did you
dangerous.
hesitate at all?
What?
Did you hesitate when you did that? Like, as Maze as the character?
Yeah, I would have stopped a little bit, not
so,
sure, but then I would
Like, when
just...
she did that, I'm going to just do primeval awareness,
Okay.
which senses within 6 miles if there's any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead within a
So
mile.
everything lights up. It all lights
Now,
up.
I cannot detect...
What's your favorite enemy?
That's a thing?
Yes, I have a
For
favorite.
range.
Yeah, because that makes it goes up to 6 miles.
Okay.
Where is it?
It should be at the top of that area. Faye. Oh, you
Totally new to the D&D stuff.
Yeah.
Got him. Got him.
The whole place pretty much explodes because, yeah.
Oh, it's like
So-
a raven here. Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that.
So you kind of primeval awareness is in essence it's a spell in essence.
Right.
So you actually
It is-
choose to kind of focus and release
Exactly.
this like sense into the area, and you have to mark off a ranger spell slot. Yeah. So you focus and you release this energy and kind of look to accept it all back in, and you're immediately just overwhelmed. And make a Constitution roll for me.
14.
You fall to a knee and almost throw up because you're just so dizzied by everything that takes place at that moment. I just have to reread to make sure. So
So
you get a sense off. You get a really confusing sense from Kael. And it's like it is kind of a muddled sense. So other things light up like pew, pew, and his is kind of like fog, like kind of misty. And Coral is still normal. I'm gonna say nothing on Maze. Particularly, to be very specific with the spell, be very specific with the thing that this says, she's not standing out. There seems to be a glow, almost like a wall in front of you. Like a golden shimmering kind of wall.
Like 10 feet in front of me, 50 feet?
Like really nice timing kind of in front of you.
Nice.
So like you almost walked into where this space would be. So if it was a stone wall, you would have hit your face on it. It's not a wall at all, but it's this glowing golden wall that stretches up into the top, everything.
Holy crap, that's big.
What is it?
Oh, I don't feel good. You're glowing.
Would I have noticed him drop down?
Yeah. I mean, he fell down basically. Like
I turn around.
That would be why Kael's kind of like
and
that.
I'll be like, oh.
I know I got a good night's sleep.
My head. So, for a second, I thought that this might be a trap because Maze over here went a little funny for just a second. But there's something like right here.
Okay. Well, since he's told me.
How far in front are you, Maze?
Let's see. I probably would have just kind of had a huffy stride. I probably would have been maybe 5 feet in front of him. But then, like when I would have noticed him,
And you stopped whenever he did that.
Well, because there was that like.
You kind of hesitated, and then he fell down, and you turned around.
And then I would have turned around. Yes.
There's something not right. I don't think there might be pies. I still. Want
you do still
pie.
smell them very strongly.
I still want a pie. But it might.
I'm going to see if there is anything with insight.
So funny.
So, can I do perception check then? See if there's anything physically out there?
Sure, go for it.
This is like the rest of this one.
Situation where like, what is this?
Your eyes both explode.
I am still throwing up. It was a natural one.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just like, watch, this is like a Tom Bombadil situation where it's like a nice, happy, everything's fine, and then like, we're treating it like, okay, who's about to mess with us? Like,
Poker face.
So he dropped down, he's not feeling any, you said what? Something's not right about this?
Something's not right about this. And I tried to like physically open my eyes, and like I'm so throwing up and stuff, and my eyes are watering, I can't see anything. Like I'm in, like, wrenching physical pain.
Maze as a cleric.
And that does pass after about 10-15 seconds. So basically, like, as you go to say that, as she's like, what's going on? And you go to kind of say, like you do kind of that number. And then that's kind of when it all fades back down. And all you see again now is just normal woods.
Maze would like to cast Detect Poison and Disease. It's a 30-foot spear. Because he said he was feeling sick and and Maze wouldn't realize if it's the wood. It was like, maybe it's something he ate or, so I'm just doctoring it up here.
You can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case.
He said he felt sick, so I don't know if it's something he ate or...
It says creatures, so no. Location of poisons. There's some plants that are kind of in the area, in like kind of off to your sides and behind you.
Yeah.
Beyond that,
but I'm not detecting anything that like he didn't eat anything.
No. Okay. There is no poison.
Okay.
And there is no disease taking place on him.
Okay. Yeah, and then 30 feet, and then it's just like, Okay, a few plants, but okay.
Or Coral or Kael, and there's some funny
I was gonna
plants.
say,
Yeah.
well, with diseases, she has to see that like it's like strangely perfect
Yeah.
because I'm immune.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, you kind of glance at Kael and you're like, huh. He looks like shining white.
Zero.
like he goes from his kind of silvery color to this like beacon of white. Yeah, a little like face icon, a little happy face.
A little
Like,
happy face on a scale from 1 to 10.
yeah,
I'm like,
45.
Okay.
Yeah. So you notice nothing on him,
All right.
and you're back to normal.
No.
You kind of stand back up slowly, and you're just like, still a little dizzy from it, but overall back to fine.
I'm not going to do that again. Oh.
What'd you do?
Well, I tried to detect evil or creatures.
Oh, you did that one. Oh.
There's a lot of
That's right, it made you fall down when you did it too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad things around here.
Yeah.
Let's stay on our guard.
I'm like, me too.
Dragonborn can tell
I
you
didn't
about
do
that.
it this time.
Oh, that's awesome. I totally didn't catch
We've already
that.
sussed out something's fishy.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Well, you survived the hazing. Good job.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
That's amazing.
Wait, I don't remember you ever having to double over in pain from a spell you cast on yourself.
That is true. Yet.
Ish.
Ish. Wait, I know I've done some bad
You've hurt yourself quite a few times,
The
but not in the
darkness.
same way.
Yeah, I've
She
hurt
did
myself in the
die.
darkness.
Yeah. 1.5 times.
Actually,
Yeah.
just go unconscious.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
What will you guys do at this moment?
so I would say we still go for a pie. Just be careful.
Yeah, I'm still hungry.
I'm just like, my sword's broken.
That's right. I actually forgot
Say
about that.
that.
My
or-
characters.
No, that's all I can think right now. It's like,
Would I have
What?
seen your sword broken?
Yeah,
I mean-
it happened in front of you.
Yeah, it happened
Yeah,
like
from where I was
this
seated.
far away from you. You basically almost got beheaded by him. It was like
So I walk-
a moment of maybe, and then no, I'm going for this thing kind of scenario.
So
Like,
Maze walks up to him. I know you don't trust me, Kael. I know your sword is all you have, which I don't realize he has the other weapons. So I pull
I
out.
was literally strapped to myself.
I don't even pay attention. You never use it. You always use the
True,
sword.
you've never used
So I
it.
pull out
Decoration.
the sword and I go to hand it to him, like the present, and I touch the silver.
You've been waiting to do that.
Because I'm like, here, you can use this. And
Okay, so you're kind of presenting it like
yeah,
that.
I'm presenting it to
I
him.
reach out to grab.
And before you do,
Reflex
it as it touches your hand, it immediately feels like you poured lava on your
I'm
hand.
like, and I
Like
just
it
drop it on the
burns
ground.
you, and you look down, and your hand, right where the blade was, is just bubbling,
Reflex save.
seared, and red, and like,
Dexterity save.
I mean, you touched an oven.
15
Yeah.
to catch the sword.
Oh, in the air.
You're fine. You
Okay.
got it.
All right. Let me see that.
And like as you're looking
What
at
is
it,
that?
it seals up and kind of heals
Okay.
back over, but
It heals.
there's still like a scar kind of across there.
Is it the blade?
I didn't touch the blade. I
What is this blade made of?
Silver. Definitely silver.
Is it a magic blade?
Yes, there is definitely magic in it.
You could have warned me. It
Oh!
was on my back the whole time.
Can you just think about it for a second? Where were we just fighting?
Ha.
In the forest.
Did you take any wounds?
Oh, yeah, didn't you? I mean, I got
What
bit.
kind?
No.
You got bit.
Yeah.
I shot her.
Right
I
here.
shot a centaur that was going to kill her.
But who? What bit you?
Let's see. The centaur is charging towards me. It would have been the fuzzy guy. Yeah. This
You
is a
a
fuzzy.
werewolf.
Was it a werewolf?
You got bit.
I got
by a
bit and then I
werewolf.
passed out. I don't. It was fuzzy.
Is it a lycanthropy? Is a disease
Lycanthropy
or
is
is it a curse?
it's an interesting scenario.
Maze would not know what's going on because I've never really encountered them.
Don't worry, it's not bad.
Well, at least it
Killed
healed.
werewolves before.
There's a specific thing I have to look up for this.
Well,
Caps lock.
I think we're gonna have to take a look at that.
The sword or
No, I've already looked at the sword.
Wound you.
Coral kind as you slide the blade in, she kind of spins around and like pulls it out a little bit and pokes the side of it. Looks at her finger,
Do I see
puts it
Coral
back, and
doing
she's
that?
kind of like. And she
Would I
looks
notice her do that?
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, this is careful. Oh, it's not hurting her.
and she's
She's
tink,
getting
tink,
fingerprints
tink.
all over it.
I'll try it later. All shit later.
Because shiny swords do more damage.
That one's pretty darn shiny, but it hurts.
Also silver.
It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You fool, you fall for with a classic wonder. I almost want to keep your werewolf that's so I can be like, this is a silver sword.
Mm-hmm.
And
But Maze doesn't know that though. She doesn't know she's a werewolf.
Right. Well, I think we're suspecting.
You
something.
probably, yeah, you
Because
guys are, but she doesn't
professional
know.
monster hunter and
I still think it's a
ranger.
sword. It's like, God damn, he's still burning me. Bastard's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, get mad at Lamore.
Mm-hmm.
God.
All right. Well, the first thing we need to think about is getting you cured.
I'm a healer.
Not that type of cure.
No,
You're special.
No, I already knew that.
you've been stricken with lycanthropy.
The what?
Lycanthropy, the werewolf disease.
You essentially turn into a werewolf.
But I feel fine. Except for that sword.
Now,
Until you touch Silva.
So like the people we fought.
those were werewolves.
Ancient cars.
Oh,
Those Incentos. The ones that didn't have hooves, those were the werewolves.
fuzzy ones. Oh, I'm gonna be fuzzy.
Well, hopefully not.
We're going to try to.
Is it dangerous?
Do I know, or does he know, like, when someone is a werewolf and they're in like their werewolf hybrid form, are they cognizant of what they're doing? Like, are they driving, or is it like a they black out,
Animalistic.
rage-filled, instinct primal thing?
Like a history roll.
12.
Much
Conveniently, because of who you are and what your job is, it was a 10 that you had to beat. So, yes, they, like, in general, and as you guys have experienced in this area as well, the werewolves are, in most cases, at all times in control of their facilities and such. It's very rare for one to be just crazed and out on the way on its own and stuff. In general, they are fully in control of themselves, whether they're in their normal humanoid form, whether they're in hybrid form or in wolf form.
So maybe, like, I don't know, if she just kind of drops her or like just hunkers down a little bit. She's like, I don't want to hurt anyone. I'm done hurting people. I'm done with this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be.
Listen to me.
And she lets out what?
Whether or not you hurt someone with this affliction is more or less up to you.
So I can control this.
You can learn to control.
Okay.
However, anybody who could have ever taught you how to control it are now dead.
If you're talking about the party, some survived.
So are we hunting werewolves now? I wanted to find.
No, we're not hunting werewolves.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to find her either a home or someone that can teach her how to live with it. Or
We heal.
we find someone to cure it.
I don't know how.
We'll see how this goes.
See.
I'm intrigued. As a healer, well, I know not to touch that sword again.
Right, no, you don't want to be
nothing on
too
that
close to the sword.
Man, maybe I could talk to Bryn as a wolf. That's all she
You could have
says.
talked to Bryn as a human.
Tiefling? You've never been human.
Me either.
Nice.
You were able to talk to Bryn without being a wolf.
I can talk to trees now. And you know, it's like, and then her stomach growls.
But
and
you
she's like,
can actually talk to things now, but you just,
Yeah, well, I don't know that.
talking to the player, not
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Sorry.
She's like, I'm hungry. Tired. You know, the danger
should-
or not, I'm gonna go eat
We
something.
should eat.
Yeah, let's go for pie.
This smells so good.
Okay, so
Maybe
you
they
guys,
heal too. Maybe pie and healing. You know, you never know.
I just want pie. And I'll start
Healing
walking.
pies.
Healing pies. Oh,
okay,
that's
so
a
what's the
good
order
shot.
that you guys are walking
Maze
in?
would probably be in front.
Yeah, Maze goes in front, and then
Then you, and I'll be the back.
Coral hangs in the back.
Okay.
Usually. She's sneak.
Okay, so you're going to tell Coral to kind of
Like,
keep up the rear?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
then
she's
I
going to go up into a tree and do so.
Oh, okay.
But so you guys won't be in a line, but she'll be behind.
Yeah.
As Maze turns and walks away, she walks through this space that you had seen and vanishes right in front of you. As soon as she turns, takes one
But I
step,
don't
she
even
just
see. Yeah.
vanishes.
I told you there was something.
Do you guys keep going?
I probably don't notice
I
it.
push-
Yeah, you.
I push
I'll
him.
get to you in a second.
Yeah.
But are you gonna keep
I take a ration and throw it.
disappears?
Well, it didn't sizzle. See you soon. Walk.
And you.
I'll walk through too.
Come on, Coral.
Okay, so you say it right before you walk in, and okay, she'll listen. And you do hear her kind of go, ah! Right as you, and then right over the top of you. Make a dexterity roll for me.
7. No. Well, dexterity, yeah, 7 because
Yeah.
+2 on all saves.
Oh, then I'll make one for
Because
her
I'm
as
the
well.
best.
Doesn't that translate to other people that are within a
Yeah,
certain area
anyone
of you
within
too?
10 feet.
Is
anyone
+2?
within 10 feet. Yeah, +2 to
So do I
any
need
save.
to roll?
You're fine. This is for Coral, who makes that a 23. So you
Ooh, nice.
you see her just in the air, and you're like, "Huh," and you go to catch her, and she like spins around and grabs your arm and just and lands on your shoulder.
Nice.
And you guys step into a beautiful part of a forest. There's sunlight shining down, golden rays are coming through. It's bright and green. The trees are all extremely healthy. Their leaves are full and kind of flowing in the wind. Directly ahead of you, there is a kind of raised pool of water that's kind of up on, it's natural, where some rocks kind of come together, and then coming from it is a small little 3-foot tall waterfall that just trickles down and snakes away in front of you. And there's a little curved bridge that goes right over it, and across the bridge, as you've guessed, is a little cottage. And you hear beautiful singing, and there's birds chirping, squirrels are kind of prancing about. All of you immediately feel better as well, just overall. Your general hostilities towards each other feel a little less relevant. Your kind of wear and tear
It's like a pacifying aura.
from walking through this, you're just kind of everything's just let off your shoulders kind of
kind of
thing.
like an eerie, I shouldn't feel as good, or I don't really care about that.
Pretty much. You don't really, because of the way it feels though, you don't really notice even that thought processing. It's just this is a really nice
Someone in
place.
chat said Hansel and Gretel.
And
it feels like
It's
right
like Hillary, where there's opium in the air.
yeah, exactly. And
It's just drugs.
yeah, and there's flowers all along the edge of the water, and nice well-kept bushes kind of up around where the house is, and a little path that leads right up to there. And that's where we're going to take our break. Only 10 minutes late.
It's not bad.
So let me get everything up for the giveaway here. That will be for the Reckless Deck Worlds deck, which is an excellent way to screw up trying to type while you're talking. But it is a world building and scene setting type of random generation deck. They are fantastic. I use them for quite a few things. This not being one of them, but something does exist in this world that is based on the world's deck. Whether or not we come across it, we'll see. But tonight's code word will be pies. It's gonna be pies.
like,
I was like, what's the one thing that stands out so far?
It's gonna be
Going to be pies. And as always, subscribers get 3 times luck in the entry. So if you have not subscribed, now would be an excellent, wonderful time to do so. You can do so with Twitch Prime completely free if you have an Amazon account. Also remember to check out the Amazon page for Dungeons & Dragons stuff as well, because it is all like 50% off right now. So if you want some D&D stuff, great time to do it. But yeah, so we'll be back here in like 10 minutes or so, and we'll draw the winner at that time. So type pies in the chat, and we'll see you shortly. All right, we're back.
There was no pie. The pie was a lie.
Just Elgato. Hi, we're back. So we drew the winner. It's
Hi, we're back.
mild discomfort, mid discomfort. We'll get these to you soon. Yeah, so sorry about the audio. I don't know what's going on with this Stream Deck thing. I'm probably going to have a conversation with Elgato's support team. So we'll get that sorted out by next week. We should not be having these issues going forward, just so you guys are aware. But anywho, where we were, now that the giveaway has concluded, and the rabid horde of canines is still popping off. You guys probably can't actually hear it, so that's really good. I'm happy about that. But where we had just left off prior to our break, everybody had walked through an invisible barrier, made visible momentarily for Elandwar, who fell over due to the extreme showcase of this. You guys had come into a very beautiful forest area with a small little waterfall and very nice clear water on a little stream, kind of babbling along a wood-crafted bridge. How did that happen? Kind of coming up over the stream, and then directly ahead of that is a small little cottage where you can tell that that's where the smell of this baking is coming from, and you hear a beautiful singing voice coming from it, a woman's voice.
Oh, you're not going to sing for us?
No, that one I can't do.
Okay. I was just waiting for it.
There are some instances where I can sing, but not in any capacity that would be described as a beautiful female voice. So, but very melodious, kind of type of voice, like type of flow to it, kind of pitch and everything. But no, I will not be singing. Okay. And what will you guys be doing?
Maze will walk up to the door and knock on it.
Okay. So you knock right on it, and
Hello.
there's a brief moment.
Here, let me get my auto tuner on.
Where I was turning off the mic on my end entirely so I could cough.
Gotcha.
But you hear just kind of silence for a moment. The singing stops, and then someone comes to the door. The door just swings open, and in front of you is a beautiful young woman, pale but kind of between pale and suntanned skin, in essence. Someone who's been outside but kind of ageless, so not sunburnt in any capacity or anything like that. And she has golden hair, not gold like this is literally gold, but not blonde, like that kind of middle ground of actually almost golden and does reflect the light, and is very just kind of well kept. She's wearing a dress with an apron over it. The dress is a kind of deep green forest color, and it has gold trimmings kind of all along it. You look at her eyes, and they are this kind of vibrant green with flecks of like blue and gold mixed in kind of around the iris. And the eyes kind of like set you back for a second, Maze, as you kind of look up into them, and you just kind of get a little like dizzy, like you can't catch your balance because it just kind of takes you off as to just how beautiful her eyes are, really. And it just kind of like pulls you in as you kind of stammer back into things. And the apron does have, just kind of some baking powder on it, kind of smeared stuff and whatnot, like it's actually used. And she just warmly greets you. Oh, hello.
My apologies for the intrusion.
No worries.
We were walking through the woods and somehow stumbled upon this beautiful place. I apologize if you're trying to remain hidden.
Oh no, I love having guests. I don't get them very much anymore, but I love having guests. Come in.
Yes, I follow. I have
You as well.
friends with me, yes.
Come on. She kind of waves at each of you.
Staying across the street from his.
She kind of like, for the briefest moment, she's like, come on.
And I know we're a motley crew. We've been traveling and we smelt this wonderful pie, and that's what drew us here. I haven't eaten anything. May I trouble you for anything you can spare? I'd be happy to help out any way I can.
Oh, these aren't pies. No, not pies. Here, come into the kitchen area.
Cookies!
Pie.
And you see the interior of this is very cottage feel. Like it really is just the stereotypical like cottage type. Wood floors, kind of plaster walls with exposed dark beams. And all of the furniture is wood furniture, just plain wood. No kind of like extra crazy padding or anything like that. Little bit of like carpeting on the floors, like not carpeting, but like, rugs and stuff, kind of laid about strategically and intentionally. And there's only a couple of rooms here, and kind of like a upstairs, like the stairs kind of wrap around behind the kitchen and go to a second floor, it looks like. You come in and there's little like squirrels and a couple birds kind of flutter back out the window, and the squirrels kind of get out of your way, and a couple of them kind of like between your feet and stuff.
I don't trust it.
And shouldn't. And
I don't trust it.
And there's like a
princess.
breakfast nook kind of set up. And she kind of like gestures to it for you guys. Here, have a seat.
Cinderella.
And there are muffins sitting on the.
Muffins.
I said baked goods. You guys came with pies.
Yeah.
What kind of muffins?
Mulberry muffins.
Strawberry.
Mulberry.
Boysenberry.
Mulberry.
Israeli Palestinian conflict muffins.
Mulberry.
Class.
Are they gluten
Do you
free?
expect to have guests around here?
What? What was that?
Do you expect to have any guests around here?
Well, I always hope to, but
We're in the middle of nowhere.
what do you mean?
We're in the middle of nowhere, and there is a magical barrier around here that makes it not be seen.
No, it's somewhere. It's just not on your map. That doesn't make it nowhere.
Did you see it when you were walking up to it?
No, I kind of just kept walking.
So that's kind of the point.
No, right before.
He's making.
Oh my goodness.
Where are we?
In my home.
Where's your home?
Right here. Here, have some muffins. She grabs a couple of muffins, sets them on little plates and stuff.
Well, I will take this, and then
She kind of sets them out for you guys.
is Coral outside still?
No, Coral's on his. She was on his shoulder, and she's just like enamored by this whole space. Like, ooh.
Maze is hungry. Maze is gonna eat a muffin.
He's hungry and he's eating.
Yeah, and she sets down two
Crazy
in front of you,
muffin.
Kael, and one in front of you, Alondor. And Coral kind of slides down your arm and like head up over the table, kind of sits back off of it, just starts eating it.
And who are you exactly?
I had the name just written down. I just had it because I had to look
we
at.
usually don't ask names, so we just
Right, no, so I specifically wrote this one down, but I remembered it right before I started looking.
She's going to lie.
My name's Mira.
How sure it is.
Mira.
Yes, what are your names?
I'm Mazuki.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She kind of like curtsies. Nice to meet you as well, Kael Stratz.
Jack.
Hello, Jack. And you? Coral. It's a pleasure to meet you, Coral.
I kind of
She's
had
like,
expected
that
Coral to be like,
muffin
your
is
name's not
so
Jack.
good.
Like a 5-year-old.
That's what she should have done.
Know that, though. Not too late.
Yep, exactly. Coral is enamored by this by Mira, so she has no thoughts of what anybody else is doing. At this
I'm
moment.
gonna sense motive. That's what it used to be. Insight. That's what it is in 5th edition.
Yeah. Now your insight. What's the goal for your insight? What are you seeking to
Is she
learn?
trying to poison us or otherwise deceive us with these muffins? Are these deceptive muffins?
No, they are not.
Okay.
I don't even know what you rolled.
18.
No, they are not.
Okay.
So I figured it was high because of the way you were asking.
I
But
just kind of like.
they are not. She is not seeming like she's trying to poison you with the muffins.
Now, are they gluten-free muffins? I mean, no, I'm kidding.
No.
No. So
Your
they're
bowels
wrong.
immediately
Yeah.
tense up, and no.
Like Kael Strauss is actually thinking like, do reptiles have issues with?
When have you ever turned down food?
Right. This is true.
I don't know.
Historically,
Companions-
Kael has always been
First to
all for
eat
food.
The other time, and I was just like,
Hesitantly.
My
Once they
companions
start-
started stabbing me in the heart.
Once they start eating, I'll
Oh, that sounds
start
terrible.
Got a little jaded.
yeah. You know, he had it coming.
So where are you guys
We
from?
worked it out. All over.
Have you heard of Dwevelhelm?
You're not a dwarf.
No, we're going there. I have a good friend there though. Can't tell
What's
you
your
his
friend's name?
You know, I can't tell you a name, but he's an amazing salesman. But have you heard of it?
Dwevelhelm, of course I have.
Okay.
It's just up north on the road.
Okay, so you know it's on your map. Yeah, you might want to add that to your map. Dwevelhelm. It has a
I
really
need
old
a
map.
bigger map. Do you have any paper?
I do.
Yes, I have some.
Okay, so I'm going to take another one and then make another one and
Just
then
a little like
start
bad
drawing it.
sketch.
Like sticks.
Yes.
You asked her if she had paper. Did you
Can
also
I
ask her
have-
to have some?
Can I have one piece of paper?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And she kind of just walks off and like, oh, where did I leave the paper? Oh, she kind of goes up the stairs, leaving you guys to yourselves for a moment,
Oh.
and then comes back down.
Oh man, I was gonna say, go sneak around.
Comes back. You didn't work quick enough. I gave you a big pause. She comes
know,
back
that's
down with
like,
one
yeah.
piece of paper as
My mouth was
requested.
full. I wasn't-
And it is, just a standard size sheet,
And
which
I'll,
would be basically like legal size.
right, put it on this one and then kind of
Okay.
adding to the map.
Is Mira? Is it?
Yes.
Forgive me. Considering everything we've encountered here and what we are, how do you protect yourself here, if I may ask?
I don't need to.
Oh.
No one's ever come through to try to harm me before.
Oh. Is there real estate here?
What?
I'm not familiar with the term.
No. Maze is moving in.
Are
No,
there
I'm kidding.
fake estates?
Oh.
You guys
So
never
what
did
do
say.
you-
Where are you from?
Oh, from. It's on his map. Aaron.
Are you attempting to answer honestly?
No, yes, I am actually.
Kazesh.
Well, no, I'm from Kazesh. I know that.
Okay,
but I'm
okay, okay.
saying Farendel?
Feldor?
Feldor, yes.
Oh, you're saying so you're
So,
not.
I'm not saying
you're
where
from.
I'm
Okay.
from. No,
So
that's
you're
like
s-
that.
okay, that's what I was going for. Is
No
are
one
you
does
are you
that.
being honest and answering the question, or
I'm
are
being
you saying
honest as
somewhere
to
else?
where I'm currently from.
Okay, that's fair-ish, but I'll make you have a deception roll for that, just
deception
just
for where I'm
overall,
currently
because you're not necessarily lying, but you're also kind of masking the true answer.
Concealing what she actually did.
You're concealing it with the truth overall,
Okay.
but it's kind of just a middle ground thing.
Now, do I get a bonus from him for? Is that a save?
No, that's not a save.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like if she were to do something to affect you, then
So,
that
yeah,
would be
partially
really
true.
good.
So she
11.
gets advantage?
11.
Yeah.
You said from Feldar.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not very far away at all. Are you also from Feldar? Both of you?
Not originally.
I'm from the forest around here.
Oh, around here.
Well, to the south, the shifting forest.
Oh,
Around
okay.
from that area.
This was part of the shifting forest for a while.
Well, it's
But I
definitely
think
shifted.
And then
I
it
think
shifted.
it moved.
Yeah. That's why it's called the shifting force.
Things got weird. But where were you from originally?
Originally, as far as I can remember, Maricos.
Oh. Remember? Do you have memory problems?
I grew up in an orphanage.
He took a few hits on the head.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
More like my family.
I'm like,
Yeah.
You guys are a very unhappy bunch, aren't you?
Yes.
There's history between two of us.
Not me. I just joined.
He's pretty happy-go-lucky from what I can tell.
Although I'd
Coral's still
probably
kind of
be-
stuffing their muffin in her mouth, just kind of goes like this and thumbs up.
I think another muffin would cheer me up. May I please have another?
Of course, absolutely, I have plenty. She pulls 2 more out and sets them in front of you.
I'll just like
Can we take some to go too?
Sure, yeah, I have plenty of them. She
taking
pulls out a
the
few more.
muffin.
She pulls out a few more from the oven that were just like kind of finishing up. Sets them on the counter as well.
We don't mean to interrupt. We were actually just kind of passing through. So
Perfect. And you're headed to Dwevelhelm?
Indeed.
yes,
What brought you into the forest off the road?
the delicious smell.
Well, originally it was just trying to sleep, but then we were attacked by werewolves, and then
don't
on the next
don't
night,
mention it.
there was a bit of a kerfuffle with some more werewolves, and I think vampires, but I couldn't really tell. Pale skin, red eyes. I didn't ask their names. I just started attacking them.
So you didn't see, because some of the people that I rescued, were running through the woods. So you didn't see anyone run through here? I was hoping they got out safely.
It's not rescuing them if you just let them loose into the dangerous woods at night.
Maze thought she rescued them.
So you notice kind of this like. Actually, make perception rolls overall. All 3 of
Okay,
you.
everyone?
Yeah.
Perception
It's a
rolls all
10.
around.
Mhm.
Rolled well.
19.
16.
So the 2 of you specifically, you kind of like briefly, and you're like, no, not possible.
What?
But notice that her expression kind of darkens momentarily, not like in an evil way or anything, just like a really depressed, like
Like she has
This
no
is
idea
just
what's going
awful.
on.
more in the sense of like everything about this that you guys are talking about and that you've brought in here is just sad,
Yeah.
Wow.
and she's not used to sadness.
Just living in a bubble.
So
And
Mace
An
notices
actual-
this?
literal, actual bubble, yeah. Yeah, and-
Anti-sadness bubble.
Pretty much.
Maze will notice this and she'll stand up. I'm sorry if we brought you sadness. It's not my intention anymore.
Oh no, you're fine.
Hug?
Sure, absolutely. She hugs you. Roll a d20 for me.
Oh god.
Please, for the love of God, don't be terrible.
17?
Oh, thank God. You don't do anything.
Okay. I was like, is she gonna do something to me?
As I thought, like, so I did this thing where I thought a
emotion
thing, and then
hug.
the words started forming, and I was like, I can't take that back. I'm already starting to say it. And then
Yeah.
it came out, and then I was like, Jesus Christ, if she actually kills this chick.
Okay, I was kind of worried that she turns into a spider and starts eating. It's like, why do I do this all the time?
Oh, God.
No, you were going to
Roll a
hurt her.
d20. You're cured of your werewolf.
Right.
Cool.
I take my hug back now.
Why?
So as she kind of pulls away,
Happiness.
she like pats you on the head. She's like, "You'll be
some reason
such
I
a
like
pretty
that.
puppy. You're gonna be a wonderful puppy." And she kind of pushes you back.
Good girl.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
And
She can't. She gave me
I
muffins.
didn't do it.
I thought you
I
did.
was out of.
Okay.
just
out of-
play her.
Gotcha.
I was out of voice.
That's just payback for the dragon thing.
All right, yeah.
She can't call me dragon.
So these people that ran away,
Mhm.
what happened to them?
Well, I tried to save them from. I mean, they looked like they were pretty hurt, and unfortunately, I was hoping they got away safely. I never was able to find them again to heal them. But I'm sure they're good.
You want to know? You want to tell her why you didn't have an opportunity to heal them?
What? Well, I blacked out.
Make a deception roll against Kael,
Okay, me.
and an insight against her deception,
Wow.
because you didn't black out.
Why do you betray me,
know.
dice?
Yeah.
6.
Oh well, I didn't do well, but it's better than a 6.
So you get the sense
it was
that
an 11.
that's
after a
probably not the case.
Yeah.
And you also make a wisdom check for me.
Wisdom
Roll, save. I don't, not a save, the other thing,
save.
check.
Oh no! Oh my god!
That sounded like a broke something. Yeah, a new metal dice.
Oh,
Nat
it was a
one.
nat one.
She breaks it in with that one. What a good night.
God. New dice don't help.
I've been wanting to tell you guys something for 2 sessions now, and I can't do it because you keep rolling wrong.
I mean, it was higher on the floor. But I
the
don't use
dice.
that. Yes, I know.
You said she little puppy?
Oh, yes.
You don't? How do you know?
What?
We didn't say anything about that.
You don't know?
Don't know what?
Well, they know more than me, but I don't know.
She's been bit. She's a werewolf.
Do you smell it?
She hasn't turned yet, though.
We didn't say anything about that. How do you know?
I can just sense it. I can tell things around here.
I rolled an insight. Like, I'm not gonna say it. How do I say it in character? I have a bit of a extra sense to this. I think she's telling the truth.
Do you talk to animals?
Of course I do.
That's how you know. You're like our friend Tree Boy, Bren. I call him Tree Boy.
Ish.
Well,
Oh, a
that's how-
tree boy?
Yes.
Huh. I haven't
miss
seen
him.
a tree boy in a while.
I know. I miss him so much. I talk to trees just in hopes he can hear me.
Where did you find this tree boy?
In the trees.
Well, I assumed as much.
Yeah.
Where
No, you
specifically?
didn't. No, we didn't. We met him in Feldar.
Feldar.
We met
But
him
he went
no,
to the
you didn't.
trees.
We met him in Feldar.
In Feldar, but then he went to the tree. Right?
A tree
yeah, he
boy went
the
to a
tree
city?
Yeah, he was not happy there, so he went to a place that made him happy.
I wouldn't imagine one would be. It's very weird.
I don't think-
People
are you
are,
thinking like he's a
cities are for
literal-
people.
Tree person, or
Like a tree hunt.
like she's meaning it in the way that you mean like a protector of nature.
Oh, I was hoping it was another tree boy.
And, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was human. Yeah, human.
Oh.
How is a woman a tree?
How boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I was hoping. I mean, he did talk to trees that actually moved, and I hugged one once. It was nice. Yeah.
You also harmed one once too.
Good. Yes. Amazing trees.
Okay. Well, anyways.
Sorry. Before we leave, this werewolfism, it's new to me. Will I be a good dog or a bad dog? Like, can I control myself? Are you familiar?
That's entirely up to you.
Oh, okay. I just don't want to
I've
hurt.
met most of them that are pretty good. Most of the packs are around here, at least, are very friendly.
Okay. Because I don't want to hurt anyone again. And I do motion at him.
She kind of glances about,
Yeah, she's like,
and just is kind of like,
Okay.
okay, yeah, that's a great way to be. I mean, you don't want to hurt people.
No, but is there something? Should I seek out these packs to learn something, or will it just instincts like help me?
I mean, you could.
Okay.
I don't know how they'll be about you, though.
Okay.
You're going to be different.
Oh, okay.
Really different.
I've always been that
And
way.
they are going to be really confused when they come across you, especially when you're transformed.
Okay.
But might be good.
That
Like I
makes me
said, they're
happy.
usually pretty friendly. They're just going to be surprised.
Okay. I appreciate your knowledge. It has actually helped make me happier.
Good. That's what. And she like brightens
Yes.
up. That's all I ever want.
Is it like a secret password so we don't get bit by the new ones?
What do you mean?
What about all the werewolves?
What about them?
I'm guessing they could smell their own kind. I mean, Mace keeps smelling herself because she's not sure if she smells different.
Smell normal. Smell literally exactly the same as you did before. Maybe just a little sweatier because you were in a battle.
We are not. We are
A little bit
not.
of blood maybe on you still somewhere.
Will we be looked at as
Minions.
snacks?
No.
No. Why would that be?
I don't know. I never really talked to werewolves.
Oh, you should try it
I
sometime.
usually
They're
just shoot
wonderful.
them.
Oh. Well, that's not very nice.
yeah, wouldn't recommend that. I mean, it seems to have been working out for you, but
I may change my ways, I guess.
I would hope so.
I did just try to save a bunch of them.
Oh,
Successfully did, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you did a great job of it, too. And you. And she looks down at Coral. You save the little ones. And she's like,
Yeah!
and then goes back to eating the muffin again.
So what's your relationship with the werewolves? How do you know so much? Especially about the goings on with them.
I live here
For how long?
forever.
Forever.
As long as I can remember.
Like 100 years? 200?
So they just talk to you?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Sometimes they pass through and ask questions and need help. And so I help them.
The little fur balls need help.
Sometimes. Everybody needs help from time to time.
That's
Alright.
true.
Could you help us?
Well, sure. What do you need?
Could you get us to Dwevelhelm very quickly? Could you teleport us to Dwevelhelm?
Oh,
Well, it's we walk through a hole in a tree and come out another
The other side of the tree, yes.
No, somewhere else.
Somewhere other than the tree?
Right.
no, I can't do that.
For me, if you meet another clan or werewolf, can you just let them know about Maze? Like, I'm a new pup. I don't know what's going on. To maybe if they sniff me out, to be friendly or kind.
Well, sure. They might come looking for you. You have the blood now, so they'll know generally where you are. But it's going to be up to you if you go and talk to them or anything.
Okay, I appreciate it. I don't want to take up your time.
That's all I have is time.
Must be nice.
Time and all of my friends.
nice.
And she kind of gestures around, and there's like
bird
the
starts
bird.
again.
There's a lot of birds in here now. You notice, like the place isn't dirty or like a birdcage place, and there's not feces on the place or anything like that. It's just very well kept. But there's like a ton of birds just sitting up around, just like watching you guys, and like around all the pots of like sugar and stuff. There's little like squirrels looking out, and just like all kinds of like little woodland creatures. You glance out the window, and there's a male and a female deer with a little fawn beside them, just kind of like all sitting there, and the fawn's kind of like trying to get up, and you see just barely like the nose peeking up, trying to look in.
Maze notices the birds and gets teary-eyed, and then you'll have to excuse me. You have a good day. I'm gonna go get some air, and steps out.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna take part of the muffin and try to feed the squirrels.
Comes out, and like as it comes out,
Because it sleeps on the east side of the lawn.
doesn't like just grab it out of your hand or anything. It holds its hands out like this in front of you, sits down on its back.
It's a well-trained squirrel.
Remember to sleep on the east side of the log. Just give it.
And it kind of scampers off, and you see it go and sit down. It like breaks the little piece in half and hands it to the one that was sitting beside it. And there's
This reminds me in person. Negro. Oh, I speak squirrel. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Yeah. Patrick Warburton during that, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, then I'll walk out of the hut thing.
Oh, are you all leaving?
I believe it is time for me to be going.
Coral's like,
Leave.
Why don't you grab a muffin? And
she grabs the like little. There's like a little piece that was kind of left behind from Maze. She grabs that and starts eating it too.
Thank you for the food.
Well, here, take some of them with you. And she like kind of just grabs them, like bundles them up in like a handkerchief thing, and like hands them to you, Kael.
I have the muffins.
Are you the muffin man?
Ooh, the muffin man.
It's a dragonborn, but muffin dragon.
Muffin born.
Next shirt.
Anyway. Bye. And so we just leave.
Okay, bye.
Yep.
Be careful.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll come back and visit.
Good luck.
I'll be able to find you with my spell. It's very easy.
Yep.
I was like,
I'm walking.
We're going north again.
Yep.
So you guys start
Along the
walking
road.
out. And
Yeah.
Are you going still dead west of the road, or are you just kind of angling?
Angle towards the road, but not like
Straight to
go straight to it because we've lost an amount of time.
Northwest, but a little more west than north. so that you're not still trudging through the undergrowth and stuff.
Yeah.
So as you kind of get to the edge of this like yard, basically, immediately you pass through the same barrier, and it's just like darkness again. It's very like, whoa, this place is not as pleasant as it seemed at first, and it just like you can tell that it's the same woods as what you saw before you walked into that space, but
Same.
because you've been in that space, it just feels so much darker now, and it kind of brings you back to everything that had taken place in these woods beforehand, and it just doesn't seem like a very pleasant place anymore. And Coral kind of walks through and she's just kind of trudging along, still munching on one of the muffins instead of up on her shoulder yet. And she kind of walks through and she's like, and turns around and takes like 5 or 6 steps back. Takes another 5 or 6 steps. And, like pats the ground, like reaches out.
Still halfway in, halfway out.
Come on, Coral.
She takes the remainder of the muffin and kind of puts it in her pouch and walks back. As far as you can tell, based on Coral's observations, it's gone.
Extra planar.
Never really there. Alright.
And the muffins are gone.
You guys do feel full, and not full on sweets, but full like you had a real meal, just off of eating muffins.
Bacon in that muffin. It's a protein muffin.
I have seen those.
I have.
Was a
Breakfast
mana
muffin.
pastry.
Right.
Stores mana.
I don't smell it anymore.
All right, so you guys
Mysteries
continue
of the
on.
world, I guess. Walk away.
Yeah. So yeah, he
I'm gonna walk
makes
away
another.
and just disbelieve because this is the first time he's seen anything just like this. Like,
Yep.
Some
And
watery
we're,
tart
like, we've
handing out
killed-
swords.
We've killed 2 dragons. Like
You are right. This is going to be an
teleported and met
adventure.
gods, and it's like, well, you said you wanted an adventure. Well,
Yeah, I got one.
Already. You've been here for 12 hours.
Yeah.
And it's already
Dragons,
more
werewolves,
adventure than you've
vampires,
experienced
monsters.
ever in your life.
yeah, we're like 3 weeks in, and we're just like so, just like shell shocked by it all that it's just none of it even registers. He's like, I don't know how awestruck I should be at the existence of this thing.
Another day.
Because I just witnessed the death of a
Exactly.
god last night. So.
Right, exactly. So you guys continue on traveling through the forest. It is kind of rough going, but eventually you do make it back to the road. There's still some of the you're still in the woods here, but you do continue on now more at a normal pace as opposed to a slower down pace. Make perception rolls for me. It's Coral as well.
She got the high
20. Dirty 20.
roll. 14.
And what order are you guys walking in?
She was
I was probably first. I would have been first.
Conveniently. Perfect.
first, and then you, then me, then Coral.
Okay, and at this time, Coral's actually on Kael now.
Yeah. Okay,
so
so she's kind of riding along.
Shoulders.
And yeah. So, Maze, you're walking along ahead, and you're noticing a lot about this forest. A lot of the animals all seem kind of odd. There's a lot of like crows in this area. The squirrels are all kind of a darker color. The smaller birds are like a deeper brown than you would normally see, like little sparrows, but instead of a light brown, they're a dark brown kind of thing. Everything in here is just a little darker. Not necessarily in an evil sense, just darker and less bright and less happy, especially after what you had just experienced with all the color and the brightness. And you're kind of like just zeroing in on every little thing as you see kind of ahead of you. And Elandwar, you are kind of just still kind of baffled by this whole scenario of what just happened and what took place the night before. And you're kind of like looking around, almost expecting something else to happen now. And it does. out of one of the trees as you walk past it, Kael, an arm just and pulls you into it.
Into the tree?
And he vanishes into the tree
Oof, I'm
in front of you.
inside a tree.
Is that what
And-
you're talking about, tree boy?
Coral falls off and lands between the two of you, just on her butt, just like, whoa! Ah! What the? Kael! No answer. What? You!
No, that way. And I point to the tree.
She kind of goes up and like kind of pushes her head against it like she can go through
Mystery
it.
solved.
Kind of jumps at it and like.
Maze walks up. We've already missed her opportunity to jump through that portal. I've jumped through once to save him.
What? She kind of nervously. She kind of like nervously looks at you, and then just walks over behind, like slowly, without turning her back to you. Walks over behind Elandor, and just kind of stands there, and just like crosses her arms and looks at the tree.
I would say we can wait, and maybe he comes back, or we could try to
didn't look
track
like
him.
he went on his own.
Oh, well, I didn't know. I just
Oh, it was like a tree napping, dragon napping.
You know that Dragonborn gets kidnapped a lot.
You really
he is
do.
like our princess. We have to go save the princess.
How do we know where it went?
Gets himself out.
Is there any way to know where they went? Where he went?
No. The only other person I know who's done tree teleportation is Marilia. And if it is Marilia, we have nothing to worry about.
I go wisdom check or roll or whatever. I roll that d20. Add your
Roll that
wisdom.
d20 and count wisdom. Let's see, I got a 14. My wisdom's +1.
It was
15.
not Morelia's hand.
Oh, well, I didn't see the hand.
Like you glance, like you did, but you kind of turned back around right as he was
So I
like,
can
like made a
describe
noise
the
of
hand.
being grabbed, and it was not Morelia's hand.
Okay.
Did it look like the tree actually arm, or was it a person?
It was a hand.
arm?
Humanoid.
I don't like these.
You know, standing here isn't going to bring him back. I'm just going to go keep walking north, and we probably will run into... Maze is really convinced that it's nothing to worry about. Like, I've already rescued him. He's
Koro.
good.
Yeah.
Koro. Have you ever seen something like this?
No. Did you?
Oh, I haven't seen anything like this. I've never been walking with Dragonborn. Maybe they do it all the time. Alright, so I'm gonna go up to the tree that it was and like thoroughly inspect it.
Okay.
Like around the backside or whatever.
Let's throw a back door to this tree.
Is there a
Like
back door?
investigation roll.
Investigation. That is a 6.
It's a tree.
It's a tree.
There is a tree.
That is a tree.
Knock on it.
Still a tree.
Pretty solid.
Sounds like wood.
Pretty solid.
Smells like wood. Tastes like wood.
Coral does taste it.
Totally tree. What does that do?
The Maze was walking on, and then she stops. Oh, he had the muffins, didn't he?
He
did have the muffins.
Ah!
All of them. Except for the little tiny scrap that Coral kept to munch on later that you guys don't even know she has.
All right, we've got to rescue the muffins.
Can we? Alright, I'm going to smell for muffins.
Go for muffins.
It's a 16 for muffins?
You do not smell
Yeah,
muffins.
No muffins. I don't know. Maybe we go in the direction of the hand? That way?
Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter what direction because it's not directional. You go in one side, you come out another.
Yeah, in one side of the tree, out the other side. I already checked.
You can stay there and keep looking. I'm gonna go north.
Okay, I'll go north too. Coral, let's go. Please, Coral.
She is in a conundrum.
I need to roll something different for that just to... Actually, I knew this would come into play
Oh,
tonight.
the coin.
The coin flip.
Reckless deck. Hashtag ad.
Okay, right.
Reckless coin.
She will go with you begrudgingly. She kind of like keeps looking back at the tree, but follows you on foot.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna be like extra. Well, let's see. I don't know if I can detect just him. Let's see if I can do a detect him.
What is the spell you're attempting to use?
He is holding a magical sword.
That is true. But
Good.
my detection is on certain creatures, not on magical. I just not detect magic.
I'm not saying a word.
But I also have.
I mean, I'm just waiting for when it's my.
Well, he is. But he's dragons. I can do dragons. Is part of it. So he's dragonborn. When that, I think maybe.
So that's racist.
That's racist.
But he's not there to say anything.
I'm
Maze
not
doesn't say
entirely
anything.
not dragon.
I'm
for other
going to
reasons,
attempt to
you don't know
do
that.
primeval awareness again.
Okay.
Have you tried asking the tree to bring him back?
I don't talk to trees.
You're in the forest. Hey, tree, why'd you take him, man? Nah, I got nothing from the tree. Alright, I'm barking up the wrong tree.
Cora walks over.
That's because you
Give him
now.
back.
I get it. Oh,
And she like punches the tree a little bit.
How'd that feel?
Fine. She turns and walks back over
Feels
towards
like
the
You'll
water.
be good.
Yeah. So you're casting that?
Yeah,
Was he? What he
I'm
have?
casting primeval awareness again. So anything within 6 miles. Dragon,
Okay.
celestial, elemental, fate.
Trying to think. It's funny when you create the thing, but then you have to assess as to whether or not
It's going to be-
how the
Can you
existence
detect
of it is in a specific spot. Because, sort of. Actually, let's try this again. Ah, balls. Okay, yeah, it's on this plane.
Oh.
You, interesting. Yeah, so to the west, you get a.
It's further across the road than.
Actually, what exactly does this do? Because you cast this thing, it's not just for Kael. So
It's
off
gonna,
to the
it's gonna
west.
detect every. It's the senses whether they're there does not reveal location or number.
Mhm.
So I'll be able to detect if he's within 6 miles, essentially.
Well, if a dragon, elemental, fey, fiend, undead, or celestial or aberration is.
That's true.
So, yes, one of those
Of
things
course they're
is
there.
within 6 miles of you.
Doesn't answer.
Well, actually, no, within one mile of
Six
you.
miles for a favorite terrain.
So yes, one of those things is within 1 mile of you.
Okay.
You have no idea what it is.
No idea which direction either.
Oh, you don't know the direction.
It really doesn't show direction either. That's a useless spell if it doesn't.
It's
You
yeah.
just
It's
know
not.
it's there.
You just know that there's a.
It's more for hunting a specific
Yeah.
creature
Yeah.
than trying to discover where something went.
than
Right.
trying to investigate the whereabouts of a
I
singular
don't-
entity.
I have any
Maze
other.
just shrugs and walks north.
Let me see if I have anything else.
Oh, it's up to 6 miles if you're in your favorite terrain, regardless.
Yeah.
So you're fine. Yeah, you definitely sense multiple beings.
Muffins.
Detect muffins.
Trying to focus in on the dragon side of things. You definitely do get a small sense of something draconic off to the west. I'm going to give you a direction because I think it should have direction based into it because that's how it should work. But and Maze is walking on.
Yeah.
Elandwar, are you walking on?
Let's go west.
West.
I've got the sense. We need to go west.
I'll trust you this time.
What have I ever done to you?
Yet.
I
And
see.
she walks west.
Okay, and I'll follow.
Okay, so the two of you, along with Coral, have come near to the edge of this part of the forest. You get a sense, and at Alandoir's beckon, you turn off the road and head west back into the forest. Kael?
Hi. Hello.
You
Where am I?
have this
What's going on?
You're
this
inside
sense of, right as it hits you, this massive hand just yanks you into a large tree, and you feel just pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled, and then set down in a chair. Releasing a hand and leaning back. We have things to talk about, Kael Struts is certain.
Yeah.
The deer skull-headed individual with a humanoid body. You are now sitting in a cabin of sorts on two large, comfortable leather chairs in front of a fire. And you look about the room, and it's stone and wood type of construction. Fairly simple, mostly all natural. A few items are laying around, such as like a cast iron pot or a tea set. He kind of reaches down and pulls up this large bottle and hands it to you. It's a golden liquid. Do you drink it?
Yeah.
As you take a sip, it's extremely sweet. It's like a honeyed mead type of scenario. He pulls another out for himself and pours it into a mug that he has. I apologize, I only have the one mug. He sits back,
Bowl's just fine.
takes a drink that doesn't spill anywhere, even though he's just a skull, appearance-wise. And that is where we're going to pick up next week.
Oh, nice.
That's where we were supposed to actually start today, but stuff happened.
Muffins.
That's D&D for you.
Right.
You plan one thing and then you improvise the rest. And so that's. I'm looking forward to this conversation. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate every single one of you. Do not forget to head to recklessdeck.com to get 15% off of anything you order there by using the code RoleThis1 at checkout. Also go to RoleThis.com/giveaway to get entered in to win basically everything that they sell. That'll be drawn in 2 weeks from today on the 29th. So you definitely want to get entered into that. And then if you do !Prime Day in the chat, it'll be the last time you can find that link for all the Dungeons & Dragons stuff that's like 50% off on Amazon right now. So I think that's everything. Also, don't forget to go check out the Shiny Swords Do More Damage shirt on RoleThis.com/shop. And we will see you guys next week. Adios.